Hey there everybody, Bijan here. Today I have an interesting pair of a receiver and a transmitter that operate on 433 megahertz that I want to test out. I'm going to do this with nothing but the stuff I have laying around. Excuse the mess, but yeah, I've got some parts and I'm going to see if I can test these out, test their range, and figure out how easy they are to work with. These are very cheap generally. I think I bought this module for I don't know, 90 cents on eBay, something like that. Came from China, really slow, but we'll see. I've heard good things about the range on these things, and I have also heard that they can cause problems if you're not careful with duty cycles and the duty cycle being the amount of time you're using the frequency. Um, I believe a lot of key fobs and other things like thermostats run at 433 megahertz, but we'll find out. I have a spectrum analyzer, and yeah, we'll see what these guys can do. So I'm going to go get some other stuff. I'm going to show you how we're going to set this up. All right, so I've got some more parts here. So I've got in addition to the receiver and the transmitter, you can tell this is the transmitter because it has the crystal oscillator on there, which is what transmits the signal through the antenna. Vertically polarized, sort of, kind of. If this was more straight. This is the receiver. I haven't looked at the schematic. I don't know what the second pin is for compared to the transmitter. I'm going to have to figure that out. LEDs, and we have one Arduino Mega, and we have a tiny LC, which is also an Arduino. And this is going to be a pain in the ass to work with, but it's the only Arduino I could find that wasn't being used. So I'll open that up and upload some software to it. And the idea is whenever I get a successful packet, I'll use a blue light. And whenever I get a packet error, I'll use a red light. It's really basic, but I don't have any screens I can use right now. Yeah, I think I might need a relay in here, but I'm not sure yet. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit, and I'll get back to you. And apologies for the breadboard condition. It's been through a lot. So let's start building this, and we'll see how far we go. Alright guys, so setting up the transmitter seems to have been pretty easy. I just downloaded a previously made script on an Arduino website to test it out, and I made a modification to see if it's sending packets. It looks like it's sending packets. So I think the next step is, before building our receiver, we're going to test it out with a spectrum analyzer for the radio. Alright, time for the moment of truth. So I've set up the Arduino, I've uploaded this code, and as you can see, we do need to change bool running to true to make sure that it actually runs the loop that sends out this character. I don't quite know how it's modulated, if it is, or how you receive it yet. That's something for me to figure out right now. So I'm going to see if I can transmit it first. And down here in the bottom right, we have the COM, which is just going to tell us every time we send out a packet. So let's see if that works. Alright, so every second it's sending out hello world. But do you see a problem? Because I actually do. And this is one of the biggest problems with using these unfiltered radio transmission kits. It'll be more noticeable if I actually change the delay to 100, or maybe 10 even. So remove the delay, and you'll see what I mean. So as you can see, we actually have harmonics going on. So the center frequency is 433.9161, but there are harmonics that are going to happen every multiple of a wavelength. There's a function for that I used to know from my university physics class that I've forgotten. But yeah, this is really bad. This is an unfiltered signal. And I think it probably has quite a bit of range. So the way that you want to do this is to only transmit every once in a while instead of spewing this. But since it's a small wire, I don't think it's going very far. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to actually decode this. I know it's saying hello world as a character string, but more than that, I'm not sure. So I'm going to figure that out, and then I am going to get back to you. Alright. So I found a program called RTL
433, which I tried before. It didn't really work, but this is a really strong signal. So I gave it another shot, and it is working. So you can see it's transmitting the packets. This is receiving them in the radiohead ASK format, and it's converting them to decimal. If I take the decimal and I run it through a converter, because I'm lazy, I get hello world. So it is indeed working perfectly. Now I need to set up the receiver, which, if it was as easy as setting up this transmitter, it will not be a problem. And then I will go do some range tests without really enhancing. I think, see, I'm not sure. I think I can amplify this. I don't think I want to. I think that makes it kind of illegal. I think it's already pushing it, but you know, we'll see.
Alright everyone, so here's the receiver finished, and I haven't set this up yet, but this is going to be a light that will go off every time a packet is received. And yeah, it's not current protected, whatever. This is an Arduino LC Tiny working. Alright, so here's the final product. This gets a blink every time it receives a packet from the Arduino Mega. And as you can see, it's working. Every verified packet's a blue blink, and there's a few cutouts that should be blinking every 100 milliseconds. It seems like it's dropping a few packets, but we'll see. We'll see how far we can take this thing. I'm gonna bring it out with me outside, and we'll take a look at the range on this guy. All right, so we're walking away from the receiver. We're still getting packets. We're maybe I don't know, 50 meters away now. Maybe 75 meters. Still getting some packets. I think the big thing is going to be these buildings are in the way now. There's a whole bunch of buildings just in the way of the signal. But we'll see how far we can go out before it completely stops working. I have a feeling that if I go this way, across the street, that it'll pick up again. Yeah. Alright, so we're now 100 meters away, maybe, from the house, and we're still getting reception. This is with terribly polarized antennas. They're both just little bits of wires, like, that's it. It's kind of scary that I'm still getting any reception at all. These aren't really meant for long distance anything. Go around the corner here, and I think that'll be it for this reception. We're still getting packets all the way out here. For 97 cents, it's not bad. Alright, that seems to have done it. So I'll go back home and figure out... Oh, see, we're still getting some. Let's keep going. Alright, that's it. It seems to have finally run out. It's occluded by buildings, so this isn't a line of sight test. Maybe 110 meters away. With buildings in the way, it's that way. Directly that way. If I get it over here, I bet you I'll get something. Yeah, see. Few packets coming through. I guess to test this better, we're going to have to go out into the field. So I'll see you then.